Okay. Get your coffee, get your tea, get your beverage of choice. Um, do your housework if you want. Do your cleaning if you want. Pretend this is an audiobook. Hit the like and subscribe, would appreciate it. And this is my number one Eve Dallas book. There's another one later on in the 50s that is number two, or maybe tied for number one, but that's later on. This is the changing book for my character. This is Promises in Death. It's the end of the 3-book arch featuring Charles and Louise. Eve is a lieutenant in the New York City Police and Security Department. Her husband is Rourke. He's a billionaire. Somerset is the major domo. Galahad is the cat. Mavis is her best friend, Rockstar. And Leonardo is a fashion designer. He is Mavis's husband. They have Bella. Peabody is her partner. McNabb is Peabody's partner in life, but he's also a detective in EDD, the Electronic Division. Feeney is captain of EDD. Mira is the department shrink. We do see quite a bit of Baxter and Trueheart in this. Baxter is a detective in her division, and Trueheart is Baxter's trainee. We do see some Whitney. And, of course, Nadine, our reporter with Channel 75 and host of Now, The News Is Now, and author of the iCove Agenda. We'll be seeing more of that in books to come. We do have to get through, it's not yet, it's a few books down the road. It is coming up, though. New York to Dallas. That is... All right, the book itself is well written and all that kind of stuff, but it's the hardest or the worst book for Eve as the character. It's a culmination, it's the crescendo of all the books leading up to it, of Eve's past. It answers a whole bunch of questions on her past, and she has to deal with a lot. It's a lot for the character to deal with. It hits her in the face major big time. And it may take a book or two to recover, but New York to Dallas is a big one. It's a crescendo of her childhood and her past. But anyways, on a happier note, Promises in Death, my number one Eve Dallas book, and we are going to read this sucker. We are going to read this and enjoy it. And I'm going to try not, if you want to hear about plot, please go check out, I did the in-depth Louise book series because they're all listed there. We are doing Eve every single Saturday this year. There are over 60 books. So it will take us most of the year, and we will hopefully finish by February when the new one comes out, and you will see the one in September. And we will reread the one in September when it gets in line to that where we get in that book. But this is Promises in Death. Alright, so you got your coffee, you got your meal. You know, the other day, I hand to God, swear, I sat down with my Eggo waffles. I was going to have some waffles and watch my show. I had a computer thing. It was going to take me 2 minutes to do. Did my computer thing. Looked down at my plate. My waffles were gone. I'd eaten them. I never had a chance to actually enjoy them. They were gone. I itched and bitched about it the whole show. I was like, I was going to enjoy my waffles, and in the 2 minutes I was doing it, they're just gone. So anyways, let's sit down and enjoy this. And so my first, we're gonna start with the vacation negotiations. I thought that was good. I just thought of it. I wrote it, but it never occurred to me until I just said it. So, he said, funny, you should bring it up. He set her coffee on the table, then 2 plates. It seemed bacon and eggs was on the menu this morning. On the sofa, Galahad twitched and opened his eyes. Rourke merely pointed a finger, said firmly no, and the cat flopped the pudge of himself over. I was thinking a few weeks. What, us? Away? Weeks? I can't. Yes, yes, crime would overtake the city in July 2060, raise it to smoldering ash if Lieutenant Dallas wasn't there to serve and protect. Ireland wove misty magic through his voice as he picked up the inert cat and set him on the floor to make room on the couch for Eve. Maybe, she muttered. Besides, I don't see how you can take off for weeks when you've got 90% of the business in the known universe to run. No more than 50, he said. In any case, what would be the point of having all that and you, darling, if I can't have time away from you and your work in time too? I could probably take a week. I was thinking 4. 4? 4 weeks? That's a month. Yeah, it is. His eyes lapped over the rim of his cup. Is it now? I believe you're right. I can't take a month off. A month is like a month. As opposed to what? A chicken? Ha! Look, maybe I can stretch it to 10 days, but 3 weeks. Her forehead furrowed. We had to cancel plans for a quick weekend away twice this year. Once for your work, once for mine. 3 weeks. I can't take more than 2, even 2.5. We split the difference. He handed her a fork. She frowned at it. You were always going for the 2.5. He looked at her, took her hand, kissed it. Don't let your eggs get cold. Where would we go for this famous 2.5 weeks? Where would you like to go? Who needed 100%? I'll think about it. And then she gets the call for the case. Oh, I got itch. So, Detective Coltrane has been murdered. We will do that part. And, I cleaned these earlier, but now there's a spot. It's gonna bug me. So Eve and Peabody are leaving the morgue. And Peabody says, Dallas, I got this thing eating at me, and I just want to get it out. You feel bitchy and resentful because she hooked up with Mars. Yeah! Peabody let out the word, like relief. I didn't even know her hardly at all, and I let myself think, like, who the hell is she? Sashaying. I even thought the word sachet because she was from the South, in here and getting all smoochy with our Mars. Stupid because I'm with McNabb and never had a thing with Mars anyway, except an occasionally perfectly permissible and healthy fantasy. But I decided I didn't like her just for that. And now she's dead and I feel like crap about it. I know, I got the same thing, except for the fantasy part. I guess that makes me feel a little better. You never had the teensiest fantasy about Mars? No, geez. Just a little one? Like you'd go to the morgue one night and it's strangely empty and you go into the main cutting room and Morris is there naked? No, don't fill my head with that stuff. No. Don't you and McNabb bang often enough to keep you from having prurient fantasies about a colleague? In the freaking dead house of all places? I don't know why. The morgue's creepy, but Morris is severely sexy. McNabb and I bang a lot, just last night. TMA, don't need that. Makes Eve's eye twitch. No. So anyways, they talk about the case more. And then, let's see what's on 31. Then she announces to the squad about Coltrane. So skip that. And go to, let's see. So Peabody is talking. That this is something that anybody, because I'm thinking, I still got that stupid spot. I'm thinking that, still there. anybody could relate to this. Now, you people, damn it, the thing won't come out. Any of you people out there with large families, you may be all right. But those of us who have everybody is deceased, there is nobody. They say as long as someone mentions your name or remembers you, you're not sufficiently gone yet. Well, there's no one to remember me except my YouTube channel. So that'll be out there forever. But who knows if anybody will see it in years to come, if anybody will pay attention to it. Who knows if I'll ever gain 1,000 subscribers, who knows. But this little spot here makes a person a little on the sadder side. I guess you don't think about how many people you brush up against or how they might remember you. The guy at the corner deli or the owner of your favorite takeout spot. The clerk where you usually shop for clothes. Not to sound too free agey, but it matters. It all matters. What we leave behind with the people we brush up against. Someone she brushed up against wanted her dead. Let's walk from here, and they talk about it. But that's true. You do not know how many lives you have touched and affected in your lifetime. And you may never know. I mean, especially if you're a superstar, you may never know, all the individual lives you affect. How many people like your music or your book if you're an author. How many people, I mean, these are my comfort books, but I don't think Nora Roberts really cares. But they're my go-to books when I'm going through a difficult time. It's Janet and Jana DeLeon. If you haven't seen my Who Makes Me Laugh on those, please watch those. And then I did all 30 Stephanie Plums. And I've done all of Fortune's books too. So check those out. And Eve Dallas, JD Robb. So every Saturday we get a little comfort here by doing these books. And they're right. You have no idea who you affect, who you cut off in traffic the other day, or who you slowed down to let into traffic, or who you were online and you had 50 items in your grocery cart and the person came up to you, had 2 items, you let them go first. These little courtesy things change people's lives. So anyways, let's see what this is. Oh, Eve gets home from a hard day's work. She's got the murder on her brain. And she walks in the house and she wants to go up and do her murder board and work the case and do this. But she's got a little issue with this. She saw Rock first. It occurred to her almost always did. He sat in one of the rich-toned, high-back chairs, looking relaxed, amused, at home. Despite, she realized with a jolt, there was a baby in his lap. Oh, good God. Several things tumbled into her brain at once. Her friend Mavis's happy giggle, Leonardo's contented smile as he lifted his wife's hand to kiss her fingers, Somerset's skinny black-clad presence, and the big grin, scary she thought, on his bony face as the fat cat squatted at his feet. And Bella. Eve, all pink, white, and gold. Lastly, the memory stuck that they'd made plans to have Mavis and her family over for dinner, and she forgot. Again. Because Eve is focused on the job. Oh, sorry I'm late. Dallas! A bundle of color and cheer with her artfully tangled pink-tipped blonde curls, Mavis bounced up. You missed the best time. We ate like oinkers, and Bella showed everybody how she can roll over and shake her rattle. Wow, was all Eve could think of. Leonardo started over. He was big where Mavis was tiny, copper-skinned where his wife was rosy pale, and together Eve had to admit they looked pretty damn perfect. He leaned down and kissed Eve's cheek, The sausage twist of hair, the style he was currently spotting, brushed her skin like silk. We missed you. Sorry. Not a thing. Mavis gave Eve a squeeze. We know about how complete the job is. Come see the baby. So they do all that and they visit for a while. And then they talk about the case just a little bit. And Mavis knew Coltrane. And then we gotta put this little piece. So she's gotta go because they gotta put the kid down for the nap. And we'll be back, us girls, for the big bash, a bridal shower, and all that girl stuff. Just what we all need. And you guys, she elbowed her husband, zipping off to Vegas for the man party. Vegas? Eve is like, huh? My duties as best man, Rock told her. I'm looking forward to it. When she was alone with Rock, the wine and an elegantly arranged plate of food, she frowned. Why do you have to go all the way to Vegas? Shit, you do mean Vegas, right? You're not going to Vega 2 planet? No, we're going to the original. But what if I need help with all this women? I don't even know what they're planning because Peabody and Nadine are all, so what if? You could easily find out the plans instead of pretending it won't actually happen. And you'll be just fine. They're your friends. He tipped her chin with his fingertip. Eat your dinner before it gets cold. Eve was raised in the foster system. She is slowly, microscopically learning how to be social. She's not comfortable being social. She'd rather be at work dealing with drug dealers, chemi heads in an alley than at a party. But she is slowly coming around to it. And getting used to wearing the heels and going out with Rourke to these dinners that he has to go to and charity events he has to go to. But she just worries about the Vegas trip. There's an interesting conversation we're gonna get to later. So Morris comes over, so that's he needs someone to talk to, so we'll get that. Then they're working on the case, and this is a spoiler, sort of kind of spoiler, but anyways. So be prepared. This next 5 lines are spoilers. Eve, what? Sorry, talking to myself. You found something interesting in Atlanta? I found something. A case you worked about 3 years ago. You haven't gone through these files yet. No, I just got them this afternoon. What about the case she worked 3 years ago? It was a robbery. An upscale antique shop. The manager was beaten, several $1,000s worth of merchandise taken, nearly that much destroyed. They also forced him to open the safe and turn over all the cash credits and receipts, which carried the credit and debit card data. One of the other employees found him when he went into work, notified the police and MTs. Coltrane was assigned. And the punchline is the identity of the culprit or the person that was accused and never charged, but that's the punchline in it. I should have just left it. They're talking about the case, but there's this little conversation in the middle of talking about the case. This is the next day. And it's so they're talking about that robbery case. Did she close it? The case. In a manner of speaking, she narrowed it down to 3 suspects. In each case, when she secured a search warrant and went to serve it, she found the suspects gone and several items from the antique shop on the premises. Within 2 days, the bodies of the 3 men were found floating in the Chattahoochee River, chained together. The what river? Did you make that up? I suppose I could have, but no. I suspect some Native Americans did a few centuries ago. I think it'd be embarrassing to be dead in the Hoochie Coochie River. Chattahoochee. What's the difference? Quite a bit, I think, to Atlanteans. You gotta love it. Let's skip across a couple pages. So then this is later on, and she says, "What have you got? Huh? I've got nothing." Eve swirled around to him. "Zip, you've got something what?" "Apparently it's not hot coffee," he says. "What am I, a droid?" "If so, why aren't you wearing your frilly white apron and little white cap and nothing else?" "Why do men think that get-up is sexy?" Let me think. Mostly naked women wearing only symbols of servitude? I can't understand it myself." "Perv, your entire species. What have you got?" "Besides a clear picture of you in my head wearing a frilly white apron and a little white cap." You gotta see it coming. So let's see. Oh, then she tells him, and I guess it might have been given to her in confidence, but I think you can tell your husband some things your girlfriend said in confidence. Not all things, because there are some things that are just between girls. But Eve's not quite there yet. So they're talking about Morris and how Morris was dating the deceased. And it's and she's talking about the fact that her and Morris were dating, Amy and Morris. "It's not like I have ever had that kind of thing with Morris, or wanted one, or even thought about him. Not like Peabody and her sexual fantasies. I mean, Jesus. Why that slut? I thought I was her sexual fantasy." Relieved at how he played it, she gave him a bland stare as they stepped into the bedroom. "You lead the charge, but apparently Peabody's got the capacity for lots of fantasy partners, probably all at the same time. And I probably just violated some girl code by saying that, which doesn't apply to your question anyway." You gotta love it. I just promise it's gonna be, it's just, so, let's see, uh, Rourke, trying to see. Oh, Eve loves to torment Dorman. Absolutely loves to torment door persons. She gets her little dollies from it. So they're gonna go question the suspect. And he's in one of those posh, those upper crust hotels that us little people will never set foot in. We probably couldn't afford a soda. It's probably a cover charge too of like $200. But anyways, um, Rourke got out. The doorman halted his quick march mid-stride. The sour expression of the dingy police issue brought to his face transformed into a polite welcome. Irritating, Eve thought. One look at Rourke wearing his power the same way he wore the perfectly cut suit and Italian shoes, and it went from "get that piece of shit away from my building" to "what can I do for you, sir?" Eve hates it. Eve hates it. Eve hates it. She likes needling the door guy. Um, she thought, show off. "NYPSD," Eve held her badge. "Here to see so-and-so." The doorman's eyes shifted from Eve to Rourke and back again. The puzzlement was clear, but obviously he knew a man didn't keep a primo gig on a door like this one by asking the wrong questions to the wrong people. Ah, so let's see. Oh, then a person we haven't seen in a while. Um, but he will become important. He will show up in later books as a significant character in later books. He's been a character in earlier books, but he's a friend of Eve's. She includes him in. We don't see too much of him, but he is out there, and he is a significant person in her life, and he will become more significant in later books. It's really further down the way, at least another 10 or 15 books down the line. Um, before we see Crack again. That's the guy's name. His name is Crack because he likes to crack heads together at the bar he owns. Um, so he's at the Down and Dirty, and he always greets Eve the exact same way. Um, Crowds didn't pack into the club this time of day, but a few men huddled at tables sucking brews, apparently content to watch the clumsy footwork since it was attached to naked tits. Two of them scanned her as she strode by, then hunched down to make themselves, she supposed, disappear. The guy behind the bar gave her a good long stare, bared his teeth. "Hey, skinny white girl! Hey, big black guy!" His wide, homely face broke into a grin. He reached across the bar with arms as long as Fifth Avenue, lifted her off her feet, and slapped his mouth noisily on hers. "Come on," was all she could say. "Can't help it. I miss seeing your face. Plus, I thought about you this morning. How about that?" "Yeah, how about that? How's it going, Crack?" "Be up, be down, mostly be up these days. I went by the park this morning, like I do once in a while, to take a look at the tree you had planted for my baby girl. My baby sister is greening up. It makes me feel good to see how it's getting green." So, they have more talk. She's gonna have a private meet at the place. Um, so then let's move on. Eve rattled some uh of some dangerous people. Um, and Eve, we're just all right. We're in a group setting. We've got the group together for a briefing. We've got a conference room. We've got McNabb, and we've got Calendar and Peabody. And so McNabb stood jingling whatever would jingle in two of the pockets of his maxi cargo fire red pants. His blonde hair was braided back from his thin, pretty face to hang down the back of his lightweight daffodil jacket. Beside him, Calendar was a busty explosion of colors, zigzag patterned t-shirt, floppy overshirt, and glassy pants. Pizza hits all the notes. Calendar chomped on gum so her jaw movement set the huge triangles dangling from her ears jumping. "You buy. I'm on for pizza, but the tab's a grab." McNabb held out a fist, and Eve's eyes narrowed as the two detectives went through the first round of rock, paper, scissors. It's rock, paper, scissors, right? I've never played it, and I've never understood it. Gee, I'm sorry to interrupt playtime, but there's this pesky chore of hunting down a cop killer. We're on it. McNabb turned earnest green eyes to hers. "We're going to hunker down in the pen. We're just getting on the fuel and the buy." "I cleared the night for it, Lieutenant," Calendar said. "But you gotta prime the pump. We took 8 desk units, 12 wall, and 16 portables out of the digs. So, but pumps had to be primed. Eve dug in her own pots and gave them the pizza money. And she's gonna work at home. And Peabody's gonna hang with them. And alright. Then oh no, Peabody goes with Eve. That's right. Does she? No. I was right the first time. Alright, so Peabody did stay at Central. And Eve heads home, and she's tailed, and she beats herself up for not seeing the tale sooner and not putting it together. And she ends up in an accident. The the airbags, actually the gel stuff, explodes, and she's having this accident that was staged. They did it on purpose to her, and the EMT show up, and Eve hates EMTs and medical and hospitals and all that stuff because she had negative experiences when she was a kid. So Rourke hears about it. The information he'd gotten claimed she wasn't hurt, but Rourke took no one's word when it came to his wife, not even hers. Of course, he thought with a simmering anger he used to cover, she hadn't been the one to contact him, nor did she answer on her pocket link as he'd been trying it since he started across town. When he reached the barrier, he simply left his car where it was. They could bloody well tow it, he thought, and bill him. He covered the rest of the ground on foot, moving fast. Then he saw her on her feet, standing whole, and arguing by the look of it with one of the medical technicians in front of the ambulance. I'm not hurt. I don't need to be examined, and I sure as hell not getting in that bus. The safety gel discharge. Can you see how much I'm wearing? How's the civilian? How's the woman? Shaken up is all the MT told her. But we're taking her in, getting her looked over. You ought to come in too. Your eyes look shocky to me. My eyes are not shocky. My eyes are pissed. Now go away. She trailed off when she spotted Rourke, and he noted her eyes went from pissed to baffled. He walked straight to her, controlled the terrible urge to simply sweep her up and away. Is that the worst of it? Yeah, how did you? I'll see to her, he told the MT. If she needs to go in for treatment or exam, I'll see to that. How's that? She's my wife. Yeah? Good luck, buddy. Did you have to? Yes, my car's behind the barricade. Let's go. I can't leave the scene. I haven't cleared everything, and I need to make sure the responding officers have. Could you leave the scene if you were unconscious and being transported to the nearest hospital? She looks at him. Let's go. A minute. Officer Laney, I appreciate your prompt response. Wish it could have been sooner, Lieutenant. We busted the people's, and the sweepers are going to go over it. And he goes on, and she complains that she fell for it, that she was a target, and that the thing did it on purpose. And he wanted to know why she didn't answer her link, and her phone is dead. Her telephone is completely dead, and that's why she didn't answer it. And so then he takes her home, and she prepared for the once-over from the Black Crow of the foyer. Somerset didn't disappoint. I see you've destroyed another police vehicle. Perhaps now you hold the record, Somerset said. Because she was afraid she just might, Eve only curled her lip and started up the stairs. Besides her, Rourke caught the inquiry in Somerset's eyes, shook his head. Somerset crouched to stroke the cat. She's all right, just a bump or two. He'll see to her. You'll stay with me until she's more herself. Not one nasty comment from her. Somerset tissed as he and Galahad walked toward the kitchen. I'm sure she'll be more herself tomorrow. And then Rourke takes care of her the next day. But we've got to let's see how much of this we can do. Alright, so we did that. So it isn't until let's see, where is it now? The moment we have been waiting for. Eve, we have been waiting 28 books. This is book 28. And it's one of the first of many changes or improvements to Eve's life that happens. Um, Eve may not think about it that way, but Rourke does, and he tries to do it to please her in her way that she would accept it. He wants to make her safe, and we will get to the magic coats later, much down the right, but they're uh, we'll get there. But he wants to make her life better, but under her conditions that she would accept. So she's talking about planning her day, and she remembers she doesn't have a car because her vehicle was involved in the crash yesterday. And he says, so they're having breakfast, and he's like, uh, just eat your breakfast, then we'll deal with your transportation. Scowling, she jammed her hands in her pockets. I lost my appetite thinking about those bastards in requisitions. That's where you get the vehicle for Eve. Rourke simply walked over and programmed a ham and egg pocket. Here, quick and easy. I guess I get Peabody to offer personal sexual favors again, but they're not going to buy that a second time. They'll make me beg, then they'll still give me the crappiest piece of junk in the junk pile. I could bribe Baxter to do it. Personal sexual favors? No, but maybe. Requisition a new vehicle, like he needs one. They like him, except they already know it's my ride. Her tone turned bitter as cop coffee. They have their spies everywhere. That's a very thorny problem, Lieutenant, but I think I can help you with that. You'd give me the pick of the fleet if you offered them the personal sexual favors, but I'm not going there. They have to be lines. There have to be limits. Besides, I'm a lieutenant. She stuffed her mouth with ham and egg, thin warm bread. I shouldn't have to beg. I'm the boss. Yeah, you're right. You are the boss. But let's go downstairs. I have a way around this. And we have been waiting and waiting and waiting. And it's finally here. The amusement in his tone was lost in her. She wallowed and stewed. I hate playing it this way. It just gripes, but I can't get bogged down in this during an investigation. So maybe you could come up with a couple of cases of prime boot, of VIP seats for the ball game, a shiny bribe. Could, but no doubt. Let's try this instead. He opened the door. In the drive sat a vehicle of dull and somber gray. Its lines were practical, too ordinary for ugly, so the best it could claim was drab. It did boast some shiny bits of chrome that glinted hopefully in the morning. Peabody already took care of it? No. She started to walk, struggling against the personal disappointment that it was much more humble in appearance than her old one. A lot humble. Don't tell me it's yours. You don't have anything this ordinary in your $20. It's not mine, it's yours. You said Peabody hadn't. You can't buy my official vehicle. There are no rules or regulations restricting you from driving your own vehicle on your official duties. I checked. Yeah, no. You can't just give me a ride. Of course I can, and fully intend to. It was going to be your anniversary gift. Now I'll have to come up with something else. You were going to give me a cop ride for our anniversary in July? What? You sensitive now and foretold my ride would get trashed? It was only a matter of time. But no, I thought it was a gift you'd appreciate. Now it's not a gift. Now it's a request. You'll do this favor for me. I don't get why. It's loaded. The internal data and communication, both primary and secondary, are state of the art. It's vertical and air compatible to the new X6000. X6000? You gotta be kidding me. She probably has no clue what it is. As with much else, it'll go from 0 to 60 ground or air in 1.3 seconds. Sweet. It can achieve a 15-foot vertical lift with the same amount of time. It's got really shiny under here. It's programmed for solar, non-combustible, and combustible fuel. Its body blast-proof as its windows are. It's a bloody tank that'll move like a rocket. So if someone hits her, she'll still live. If she hits vertical, she'll actually go vertical. The car won't shake and fall to the ground like her other vehicles were. It's got protection. It's got a full auto chef. Hey, Eve, there's an auto chef in your car. A sophisticated auto chef. And eventually, not right now, it will take a few books, for it to hit that there's the auto chef in her office contains more than coffee. It's got memory seats, alarms, blah blah blah. It's got a security system. It's programmed to her voice and prints, and there's no codes. And it's and he's trying to convince her, look, do this for me so that I will have peace of mind, so that I know that you are protected when you go off chasing bad guys. Do this for me. And she says, because it looks so horrible. And he goes, well, the designers had a breakdown because they couldn't paint it a fancy color. But this was for Eve, and Rock knew Eve. And he tells her it's the DLE. DLE. Urban, and it's one of a kind. He is making more, but this is the first one off production line. DLE. Oh, it took her a minute and pleased her absurdly. The Dallas Lieutenant Eve, the DLE. As I said, there's only one. We're manufacturing others with the body type for the economically range, but none will have the unique capabilities as this one. What'll it do? I had it up to 210 on the straight road and air, but I'm better driver than you, so don't push it. Man, it almost makes me Jones for vehicular chase. Well, one day, no doubt. I can tell the bastards and requisitions to get screwed. The mere thought of it had her doing a hip-wiggling dance in the drive. Hot damn! I've got to try it out and get to work. Got to give requisitions the figure. Thanks, it's probably the best favor I've ever done for anybody. Catch you later. And, then Somerset comes out. She's never had her own before. I don't know why I forget things like that. For a bit, it'll be like a new toy. Then she'll settle down with it. Your first, booted at the age of 12, ended up nose down in a ditch in Dublin. I didn't think you knew about that, Somerset. He smiled. Only that you'd managed to hide it in Mick's garage for 2 weeks, or so you had before you got cocky and wrecked it. You learned a lesson, didn't you? And you were more careful with the next one you boosted. It was a thrill, stealing as much as the driving. Do you miss it, the stealing, now and then? Not as much as I thought I would. So Eve gets her own car. Yes, yes, yes. I don't know why I wanted this. We have Detective Coltrane's funeral. We'll just skip that for now. Let's see. Alright, this is back to the case. And wait a second. Oh! Alright, so this is an extensive scene. And we'll just read the highlights from it. Rock. Oh, wait a second. I gotta find it. Hold on. I don't know how I forgot this. Well, I remembered the scene, but I forgot the punchline. It's my favorite quote. It's so Peabody and Eve are talking about the case. And Peabody says, oh, Nadine came by. She didn't bring a crew. It was a sympathy call. Genuine. She couldn't stay and you were busy, so she said she'd see you tomorrow. About what? The shower's tomorrow. Louise's shower. Oh, crap, right. We'll be around too to set things up. What things? Stuff. If I can get a lighter under Peabody's face turned kick puppy Pitiful. All right. No point in pulling out her hair. Eve thought, just no point. You set up whatever and let me know when it's done. I can find work until. Maybe longer than until. Eve starts trying to figure out how to avoid the whole situation. And she will try and figure out how to avoid the situation for a while. And then it hits her. Oh shit. The stupid shower present. Rourke sat in her visitor's chair, comfortably involved in his pizza, and he glanced up. You changed. I didn't have any time to oogle you in your uniform. I have to go shopping, she says. Staring at her, Rourke pressed his fingertips to his temple. I'm sorry. I believe I must have had a small stroke. What did you say? Now remember, Eve hates shopping. She wants to go online, click, order it, done. Peabody, on the hand, if you've seen in the earlier books, you'll see it in the later books. Peabody likes to go to the mall and walk around and window shop and do all that kind of stuff. And Eve is just like, no. This isn't funny. She bent down and gripped him by the patels. I forgot to get a thing for the thing. And I don't even know what the thing is supposed to be. Now I have to go out and hunt something down. Except her eyes went from slightly mad to speculative. We have all kinds of things around the house. I couldn't just wrap up something and... No. Crap. Rourke sat calmly while she dropped into her chest chair and buried her head in her hands. Do I correctly interpret the thing for the thing as a gift for Louise's bridal shower? What other thing is currently being shoved down my throat? Give me a moment. And he picked up the phone and called Carol. Genius! Yes, Carol can get the thing. No. We're going to get advice from Carol on what to possibly purchase. But then you, Eve, are going to go to the store to make the purchase. Because you are the maid of honor, and that's one of your responsibilities, is to make the purchase. And because you've waited 24 hours before the event is supposed to occur, you have to actually go to the place of business. So, Carol, if you were hosting a bridal shower for a good friend, what would be the most appropriate sort of gift? Eve swirled so she could bang her head on the desk. Rourke and Carol talked, questions answered, but didn't take it in. They might have been speaking Greek. Thanks, that's something's come up here, so I'd like to be working from home later. Let me know if you need me for anything. Have a nice weekend. Carol's suggestion is lingerie. A nightgown, or as she delicately put it, an ensemble. I'm supposed to buy Louise F-wear, which is how to indelicately put it. I can't do that, even if I wanted to. Who would I don't know her size or anything. I do. I just hacked into her account and have all her sizes. Now I'm afraid you're going to have to go into an actual store, as you've left this too late to purchase anything appropriate online. Oh God, just kill me. Don't worry, I know just the place. So, they go out and they're walking down the street and, where is this place? Just around the corner on Madison. We could take advantage of luck with the parking and the evening and polish off the shopping with dinner. There's a nice place just across the street. We can sit outside, share a bottle of wine and a meal. I really ought to. Work, yes. He brought up her hand to kiss her knuckles. He'd sit and eat with her in her office while she did just that, she thought, because it was the natural order for her. She stopped at the corner. Maybe if it was a date. Sorry. She angled her head, lifted her eyebrows, and watched the smile spread. Darling, would you like to go out to dinner with me tonight? She won't, I will, a woman said as she passed. I'll even buy. Yeah, I'll go out to dinner with you tonight. She kept her hand in his as they walked the next block. So they go into Secrets, and Rourke owns a small percentage, and it's owned by these two ladies, they're a couple, and one of the ladies is expecting, and they talk about uh Louise's taste and stuff like that. They also talk about the fact that this woman supplies Eve's stuff, and Eve didn't know that this woman supplied her undergarments, and is embarrassed to all hell to discover that this woman supplies her undergarments. Um, so they go, and I need a gift. The occasion. Oh wait, let me go back up. Well, see, I have this thing, and the word is this kind of stuff would work for it. Adrian narrowed her eyes, serenely blue, and thought, a thing, but not for you. You need a gift. Yes, yes, I need a gift. The occasion? Like pulling teeth, Rock commented. Shut up. Okay, it's a shower thing. A bridal shower thing. Ah, yes, we'll find just one thing. What's your relationship with the bride, I mean? Is she a good friend, a relative, or an acquaintance? A friend. Eve standing up for her at the wedding, Rock put in. A very good friend, then. Tell me about her. What does she look like? She's blonde. And Rock is like, all right, let's do it this way. Describe the subject, Lieutenant. Oh, right, she could do that. Caucasian female, early 30s, blonde and gray, about 5'5", approximately 115, slim build, even features. All right, then. Would you say she's classic, edgy, artistic, or flamboyant? Classic. Okay. What does she do? She's a doctor. Is this her first marriage? Yes. Is she madly in love? Yes. And so then the lady suggests an ensemble for the wedding night, the honeymoon, the thing with the jacket, and it's all see through, and it's gray and silvery and stuff like that. And then Eve shows they have this device, and maybe in 50 or 60 or 70 years, they probably could do it today, but it was going to have to be in one of those stores that's owned by a billionaire to be able to do this, because it's probably really expensive. They take the image of the person, AI of course, and put the clothing on the person to see how it would look on the person. So and then she turns to Eve after they do all that stuff, and they ask personal questions about Louise, and it just embarrasses the life out of Eve. But then they get to she's like the AI figure of Louise is freaking her out, so she has to turn her off. And then she turns to her and says, "While you're here, do you need more tanks?" Enough what? Support tanks. You prefer them to a bra for work. Eve opened her mouth but couldn't quite choke out a word. She could probably use a half dozen, Rourke said. I'll take care of it. I know you will. We're going out to dinner. Why don't you wrap all this stuff, put it on the account, and have it sent? With pleasure. Sincerely, Lieutenant. Okay, thanks. And they get out of the store, and Eve turns to him and goes, she knows what I'm wearing under my clothes. She knows what I look like naked. This is disturbing. You gotta love it. So they do the pizza thing. And they talk about Somerset and stuff. So what's the next big let's see. Morris comes to visit, and we've got to go out, and Dallas Baxter comes. He's gonna go with Eve on this little interview thingy. Is this where Baxter? No, I don't think so. No, he doesn't get hurt. This one. But they go out to do this interview, and not Dallas. Baxter has a 2-seater, hot rod, single man's vehicle, convertible, the whole 9 yards with all the bells and whistles. And Eve is like, "No, we're going in my car." And Eve tells him, we're going in my car. Um, and he's like, come on, Dallas. Why take your latest hunk of junk when I've got my primo official business and I'm driving? A man's got to haul his ass out of bed on a rainy Saturday and he can't even set it down in a decent ride. And then he gets in and it's all nice and comfy. And then he starts looking at the dashboard and seeing how loaded it is. And then he sees with all the extras in it. And he ends up approving sincerely of the vehicle. Then the gang comes over for breakfast, and she wants all the guys to come over. She's got work for them to do. They've got a case to do. And Rook, listen, honey, you can have the guys come over to do this work for you. But listen, you gotta face reality. You gotta accept it. And so, you have a bridal shower. You're hosting a bridal shower in approximately 6 hours. The sound Eve made was perilously close to a scream. A bridal shower, Baxter repeated. Shut up, never speak of it. She rounded towards her office and ran into Mars. Oh, hey, Mars. You've got something, lost him. Now we gotta find him. And, she's just like, she's working. She doesn't want anybody to go anyplace. She doesn't want to do the bridal shower. She doesn't want the men to leave. And Rourke is like, we'll be leaving, Lieutenant, as arranged for Vegas, Charles' bachelor party. You guys are going to Vegas? Baxter piped up, looking both sad and hopeful. I know, Charles. Would you like to go, Detective? Eve literally waved her hands. Hey, I'm already here. Can I bring my boy? The more the merrier. True Heart. Come on, True Heart. I love my True Heart. I don't see why we couldn't just postpone the whole thing until. Of course you don't, but you're outvoted. Life has to be, Morris said, or there's no point. Wait. Until 4. And they talk about the case. And Feeney and McNabb are gonna go too. And okay, what's a few million lost now and then in the grand team of things? I'll win it back in Vegas. Oh my god. She had walked in on his a conference call. Laughing, he caught her horrified face. I'm having you on, and though I shouldn't let you off the hook so easily, it's fine. But annoying. You'll be scheduling in that groveling. Now go away. I have other things to see to besides your e-work before I leave. Fine. And then they talk about the case again. Let's see here. And everybody comes over and has a little bit of a meal before they head off to Vegas. And let's have the cops eat before they go. Rock's gonna have massage therapist on the plane. Everybody's gonna get a massage by twins. She built a sandwich, took a bite, so the sum of guy talk and smacking lips, she caught the sound of female laughter. Peabody and McNabb, wearing both girly dresses, popped in the doorway. She-buddy. Love, Eve supposed, could even cause McNabb to forget his stomach for a few seconds. He bounced over to her, spun her around, then dipped her while she actually giggled before he planted on her. No, this is a cop room. No dipping, no kissing in a cop room. Too late. For good measure, she gave McNabb's ass a squeeze. Does this all look delicious? And the food looks good, too. And then she sees True Heart blushing. Are you on duty, officer? Give it up, darling. Shift's over. And that, she supposed, was that. I'm sticking with rabbit food, Peabody says, for now. We've got amazingly good goodies for later. Ariel made them. I've gained fine pounds just carrying the boxes in. Remember, Ariel was our girl from the last book who made the big cake that solved the city crime of salvation and death. And don't forget, Ariel was also a victim in a previous book, and now she owns her bakery. Um, let's see. Nadine and I brought everything. Mavis and Leonardo should be here any minute, and they have more. Yippee! Trina and her consultants will be here by 4 to start up. Trina! Why? Why, Trina? You said no silly games and no strippers, Peabody reminded her. We're doing the full-out girl party. Champagne, decking food, body, hair, face treatments, chick vids, presents, gooey desserts, big girl slumber party, followed by champagne brunch tomorrow. You mean... The shock was sharp and cruel and a stunner blast against the heart. Overnight, all night, and tomorrow? Yeah, didn't I mention it? I have to kill you. No games, no strippers. Those were your only rules. I'll find a way to hurt you for this. It's gonna be fun, Eve. Hurt you too, you squeal like a pig, Eve says. Eve spotted Rock moving to the office and dashed after him. Wait, you can't go to Vegas. Because? Because you can't leave me here. We're married, and there are rules. I try to follow them. I don't know all of them, but God knows I try. But this has to be a rule. You can't leave me alone in this situation. With women, with Trina, with makeup and goo and face stuff and hair stuff and dyeing and hanging around the pool and pillow fights and darling Eve, I must. No, you can bring Vegas here because you're you. You can do that. We'll have Vegas here, and that'll be good. I'll buy you a lap dance. That's so sweet, but I'm going. I'll be back tomorrow and lay a cool cloth on your fevered brow. Tomorrow? You're not coming back till tomorrow? You wouldn't be in this state now if you paid attention. I'm taking a shuttle full of men to Las Vegas this afternoon. There'll be ribaldry and possibly need to postpone. I've made arrangements. I'll be bringing back the same shuttle full of men, hopefully tomorrow afternoon. Let me come with you. Let me see your penis. Oh God, can I just use yours? At any other time. Now pull yourself together and remember, when all this is over, you'll very likely arrest a killer who's also a dirty cop. It's a twofer. But that doesn't make me feel better. Well, it's going to have to, because you're going to have to deal with the bridal shower, Eve. And then we have the bridal shower, and Louise is there, and Eve Rourke is taking Dennis Mira, that nice little old man with the sweaters and his mismatched buttons. He's also an English professor, to Vegas, and she's like, "You're gonna corrupt this guy," and Eve is just all over it. Mira's there for the party, and Nadine's there. And Mavis is there, and Trina's there, and some other friends of Louise's is there, and they just have to drag Eve to the party, and so it takes quite a few pages, and let me see what this says before I scrub through it. She hid away for a while. Mavis finds her. Then Mavis solves the case. She figures out who it is because it gives her the tinglies. And then the next morning they have breakfast, and Eve passes out. She was going to go say goodbye to everybody, but by the time Rourke wakes her up, everybody's gone for the day, and the case is solved. And that is the end of my... I could read the entire bridal shower. I won't. I could read... Oh, there is that one part where Peabody discovers the car. Wait a second. Let me see something. Okay. This one little last piece. They're going to a crime scene. I leveled up by the time Where did you get this vehicle? It's mine. We'll be using it from now on. Yours, like in yours, Peabody studied the dash. Very frosty gadgetry. Use the frosty gadgetry to map the fastest route to 509 Pearl Street and use ID the kind of building it is. They talk about the building. In dash, I hate it when it talks to you inside a vacant building, second floor. Um, that's it. What they talk about the building. Okay, so that's the end of our book. We got to deal with the case and the breakfast after, and Mavis getting the tinglies. But that it's really heavily case related, so we won't spoil that part of it. But there we go. Promises in death. Finish your coffee, your hot chocolate, your soda, your breakfast, your cereal, your dinner, and listen to me talk about my favorite book, Promises in Death. And the next time you gotta go someplace, tell your husband you need a thing for the thing and you don't even know what the thing is supposed to be. That is my favorite all time line. I love it. 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 And don't forget tomorrow's unboxing and Flashback Mondays and my daily book reviews and If Then Fridays. Have a good one.